Hi, my name is Lydia Dowd. I chose embarrassment as my project and the concept that I wanted to go over. I feel as though personally, embarrassment is something that we feel every single day, and we can also feel all different types of embarrassment. Whether we're trying to public speak, we're trying to talk to new people, we get secondhand embarrassment. So, I just thought this was a really interesting topic to go over. So, here are my slides, and let's get started. Okay, what is embarrassment? So, embarrassment, I would say, is just an overall very complex emotion that we feel. Um, Unfortunately, we can't really stop it, but we can overcome it. So, I also put a little bit, just kind of like a little description inside my slides as well. It feels as though we've done something wrong, we feel guilty, we feel shame. If we try making a joke and no one laughs at our joke, we can feel, okay, that's really embarrassing. I feel a little ashamed that I would try saying something like that and no one found it funny. They found it stupid. So it also says it's self-conscious. So when you do something super poorly in front of someone else, sometimes in front of a larger audience, you can get an even larger, overwhelming sense of embarrassment. And then secondhand embarrassment. So secondhand embarrassment is something that I believe is psychological, and it's not really something you can prevent as well. After I did a little bit of research, secondhand embarrassment is essentially just you see some actions and you can feel it. It's almost like empathy, but for embarrassment. So say your friend is making a joke and they're laughing at it, they're laughing super hard, but you do not find it funny. And you look at your friend and they look at you and you guys all start laughing. It's not because you're laughing with them, it's because you're laughing at them because the joke was so unfunny it was funny. That's what secondhand embarrassment is. And they can feel okay, whatever, like whatever. They'll make fun of it, they'll laugh at it too, but they have that, I guess, that embarrassment, the shame. And it's not as serious as actual embarrassment, but you can still feel the over dreading emotion of secondhand embarrassment. And I also wrote down some bullet points that I wanted to point out. And as a Christian, I look at this perspective and I think, okay, well, would we want others to think of us like this? If we felt secondhand emotions, I guess in this sense, would we want them immediately laughing at us? And is secondhand embarrassment a form of judgment? So I thought that was something that everyone can think about and just kind of keep in their heads. And then the downfall of embarrassment. So embarrassment can essentially just take over someone's emotions. It can lead to panic attacks. It can lead to so much worse. So I wanted to show a chart that I found and wanted to provide on my slideshow. And it's about stress and the impact it does to leading up to embarrassment and how embarrassment can lead to overall overwhelming stress. And they kind of just correlate. And unfortunately, they correlate really well. And so it restricts kind of what we do for ourselves, meeting new people, meeting new friends. We don't want to go out and talk to people. If college is about to start up and if I have a friend in a class and I don't have him in the next, and I feel super overwhelmed and I feel that anxiety and the stress and just the embarrassment of wanting to go out and meet someone, I wouldn't talk to anyone because I'm restricting myself. So it limits me from making new friends who might later down the line be really good for me or anything like that. And then also the anxiety. Anxiety, stress, and embarrassment are three factors that correlate really well. And it's just something that a lot of people have to work to push past, you know? And then there's upsides to feeling embarrassment. Many people say there is no upside, but I don't think that's true. And I even put a little chart down in the corner as well for this one and how people can, I guess, overcome embarrassment. And this is something I worked on when I came to GCU and I met new people. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so used to other people coming up to me. I'm never going to make friends this way. There's so many people here. I need to do something. And so, like it said, I just, I took and I looked within myself and I was like, okay, well, if I feel this and I'm nervous and everyone else is new here too, they must feel the same way. And I would want someone to come up to me, so I have to be the bigger person. And the best thing to do was to pray about it and laugh about it. And I'm like, okay, this emotion is not gonna control me, it's not gonna overcome me, anything like that. And so I would go up to someone, and then I realized that the more I went up to someone new, the easier it got. And I would talk to them later down the line. Now that we're friends, I was like, were you ever nervous to talk? Or they're like, oh, of course, I would have never gone up to you. And it makes me so grateful that God gives me the guidance and the courage to actually overcome fear of embarrassment and embarrassing myself. And I even put the bullet points up here for that too, like meeting new people. And from a personal standpoint, I get to talk to people about Jesus and reading the Bible, and I'm in so many more Bible studies now because of it, because I overcame my fear. And it just pushes us to a limit that I'm so glad it pushes us to. And then I also put, at the end of the day, I put a little image of kind of just a woman with Jesus and embracing him, because it makes me feel that I tried. And at the end of the day, even if I don't overcome that embarrassment of what I did feel, I'm not going to regret not doing it. I would rather do something wholeheartedly and look back and say, at least I tried, instead of saying, well, I was going to do this, but unfortunately I didn't, and have that regret of not trying. So I wanted to take that standpoint of, even though embarrassment can feel like it's swallowing your heart, that once you really dial into yourself and realize, I can overcome this, I have God in my corner, those kind of things, it really helps lead you into your own personal aspect. And then these were my references that I chose. They kind of just helped me do my study and do my research. Thank you.